At 11:57 at night, your phone lights up. A Duolingo reminder says your streak is about to end. You were not planning to study. You are tired, already in bed, and you have ignored the reminder twice. But the screen shows 347 days, and letting that number become zero suddenly feels harder than opening the app. So you complete one short lesson, watch the number become 348, and close Duolingo a few minutes later. Your Spanish would not have disappeared at midnight. What you protected was the story that this number had started telling about you. And that quiet moment reveals how Duolingo turns yesterday's effort into tomorrow's attention. But one forgiving feature makes the system work. Learning a language begins with ambition, but the work is repetitive. The future feels distant. Skipping tonight feels almost free. For Duolingo, that is the central product problem. A lesson can help only if the learner returns often enough to take it. The streak shrinks a huge goal into one visible decision: continue the chain today or become the person who stopped. Early on, each new day feels like progress. Moving from 2 days to 3 increases the streak by half. Much later, the reward changes. One more day adds little, but losing 200 days feels like losing part of your history. Duolingo describes this shift as loss aversion. Once progress feels owned, avoiding its loss can matter more than gaining one more day. But the company does not simply trust psychology textbooks. It changes the product, divides users into groups, and measures who returns. When Duolingo redesigned the streak celebration, new learners became 1.7% more likely to still use the app 7 days later. A small animation changed behavior. At Duolingo's scale, even a fraction of a percent can represent thousands of people continuing to learn. Yet fear alone is fragile. If one missed day destroys everything, a learner may decide the entire habit is already finished. That is why Duolingo lets people protect a streak with freezes, even though allowing missed lessons sounds like weakening the rule. After it allowed 2 freezes, the relative number of active daily learners increased by 0.38%. Forgiveness improved consistency. An earlier weekend amulet tested the same idea. It protected the streak over a weekend when normal life often interrupted practice. Learners offered it were 4% more likely to return a week later and 5% less likely to lose their streak. The break did not erase the story. It gave learners a way to continue it after a day that did not go perfectly. Duolingo also tested commitment. A 7-day wager asked learners to risk in-app currency, then rewarded them for completing the week. Among learners offered that wager, Day 7 retention increased by 14%, with the largest lift arriving when the reward became available. Then the streak became social. With a friend streak, missing a lesson can also break progress that belongs to someone else. Duolingo reports that learners with at least one friend streak are 22% more likely to complete their daily lesson. By now, a simple flame carries several meanings: routine, personal history, protection from failure, a small wager, and sometimes a promise to a friend. Duolingo says learners who reach 7-day streaks are 3.6 times more likely to complete their course. That sounds decisive, but it does not prove the streak caused completion. People already motivated may be more likely to build streaks and finish courses. The controlled experiments matter more because Duolingo changed one feature and compared behavior. Instead of merely observing its most committed users, the results are not proof that every learner studies well. They show that careful streak design can change whether people return. Duolingo now says it runs more than 1,000 A/B tests each quarter. The familiar flame is not one idea, it is accumulated iteration.